So as in the last video we were done with the rules of image formation by concave mirror. So today we are going with the rules of image formation by convex mirror. Wait, let me mark here. Rules of image formation by convex mirror. So first of all we need to know that what are the convex mirror, right? What are these? This is the convex mirror. This is the convex mirror 2. This is convex mirror and this is convex mirror as well. Now let me tell you what is the definition of convex mirror and what are the convex mirror actually. So I'm just going to type here. It is a mirror. It is a mirror in which light source. Right. So this is the definition of convex mirror we have. Let me make it more clear. So yeah, this is the definition of convex mirror we have. Let me mark here first. So it is a mirror in which the reflective surface verges towards the light surface. Right. So as you can see here, this is the bulge part. Why? Because the light is coming from there. Light will be reflecting there, right? So this is the bulge part. So what it is actually, this is the convex mirror we have. This is the convex lens we do have. Wait, let me write here. This is the convex mirror or lens we do have. Right. So now we are just going towards the rules of image formation by convex mirror. So now we are going to check out the rules. What are the rules, right? Wait, let me scroll it down. Okay, I'm writing here rule number 1. So what rule number 1 says actually? Wait. Rule number 1 says a ray passing parallel to the principle of axis always pass through the focal length after reflection. Right. So let me make a ray diagram here so that I can make you guys understand. Okay. So I'm making a line first, which is the principle of axis. This is the principle of axis, right? Now I'm going to make the convex lens, right? Convex lens. Just going to make the convex lens. Right. So we know that the concave lens is like this, while it moves inward while reflection, right? But talking about the convex lens, it's like that because it gets bulge here when the luminous source hits the light here, right? It gets a bulge. So this is what? This is the convex lens, right? So I'm just going to make here the convex lens. This is convex lens. Going to point the plot. Okay, so let me point the marks here. This would be C, which is the center of curvature. This would be F, which is the focal point. This would be P. Again, I have to make here 2 because I'm talking about the convex lens here. So there would be focal point of focus. Here would be C, which is the center of curvature, right? Now we have studied, as I told you. Wait, let me choose another color. Okay. As I've told you, a ray passing towards, not towards, but the parallel to the principle of axis would always pass through the focal point after reflection, right? So here this is going, right? This is going in the direction of what? In the direction of this principle of axis, because the principle of axis direction is this, and the line which is parallel to its direction is this. So this is parallel, right? So which is going parallel to this will always pass through what? Will always pass through the focal point, right? It should be like this. It should be appear to like this, but instead it will get diverse, right? It will be diverse because the person will be here, will be watching. He'll be thinking that this way is coming from the focal point, right? So this way is going parallel to the principle of axis, would pass through the focal point after reflection. This is the focal point and this is the center of curvature, right? So this was the first rule. Now let me explain you the second rule, right? Rule number 2. What the rule number 2 says? First, check it. Rule number 2 says the ray which is passing through the center of curvature, going towards the center of curvature, after reflection it would come back from that same path, right? So I'm just going to draw the diagram here so that it can be more clear to you. Okay. So this is the principle of axis. This is the convex lens here, right? Now I'm going to point the marks here. This is C, center of curvature. This is focal point. This is P, principle of axis. This is F, focal point, and this is center of curvature, right? So I'm just going to keep another marker, right? As I told you, a ray which is passing through the center of curvature will always come back from that same path after reflection, right? Or suppose here I know that C is here, F is here, and P is here, right? P is here. If I'm making a line which is passing through this center point, this is the direction of incident ray, while when it will touch the mirror, it will reflect back, right? It will reflect back with the same path after reflection, right? So this is the rule number 2, which says a ray which is passing through the center of curvature will always go back to that same path after reflection, right? Now I'm going to tell you about the rule number 3, what it says basically. Rule number 3, what it says. So rule number 3 says a ray which is passing through the focal point will always go anti-parallel to the principle of axis. Why? A ray which is going through the focus point will always reflect back anti-parallel to the principle of axis. So I'm just going to explain you with the help of diagram. Okay. For suppose this is the principle of axis, right? Here I'm making the convex lens. This is going to plot the points. This is C, this is F, focus point, this is F. And again we do have a center of curvature here too. So let me label it first so that it can be clear to you. This is center of curvature. This is focal point. This is P. Again this is focal point. This is C, right? So what I told, a ray which is passing through the focal point will always reflect back anti-parallel to the principal axis, right? So So I'm just drawing here, right, a ray which is going passing through the focal point will always reflect back anti-parallel to the principle of axis, as you can see here, right? So we have studied three rules of the image formation by convex mirror, right? So now we are going to see the object at any position except infinity, right? So here I am writing case is what object at any position except infinity. So I don't have sign of infinity here, but I am going to write infinity, right? I'm going to just mark it. So case is what object at any position except infinity. Here we are just going to study the location of the picture where it will be formed, right? So I'm just going to make here the diagram. Okay, so going to make diagram. This is the diagram. This is the principal point, right? This is the principal point. Here I have the convex lens, right? We're going to find the mark. Okay, so here I have C, which is the center of curvature, F, which is focal point, F. This is P. This is again F, which is the focal point. This is again C, which is the center of curvature. So let me label it first with the so this is center of curvature, right? This is center of curvature. This is focal point. This is P, is the principle of axis. This is F again, and this we do have center of curvature, right? So I have just labeled it. Now what we need to see here, for suppose if a man is standing here, right? Man is standing here. It is the height of that, right? So we have, as we have studied the rules, so let me explain here in this diagram again. So the first rule was when a line is parallel to the principle of axis will always reflect back through the focal point. Right? So if I am making a line here, right? This is the parallel line to the principle of axis. It will always reflect through the focal point. This is focal point, right? So again we do have next rule, what it says. So as you can see, I have increased the height of this person which is standing here. Let me mark here. For suppose this is A point and this bottom point is B, right? So the second rule was when a line is passing through the center of curvature will always come back with that same path after reflection, right? So let me make here. Wait, I'm just going to use the line of so it has to be here somewhere. So here you can see this is the direction of incident ray while this is the direction of reflected ray, right? So third rule, what was that? When a line which is going through the focus point will always reflect back anti-parallel to the principal axis. So anti-parallel to the principal axis. If a line which is going through the focus point will always reflect back anti-parallel to the principal axis, right? This is incident ray and this is reflected ray. So as you can see here, these both lines will never meet. Why they won't meet? Because these are the divergent rays, right? So I'm writing here, never meet. Why never meet? Just because these are diverging rays, right? So you can see here, these are the diverging rays. That's why they cannot meet. Wait, let me mark it. They cannot meet. Right, they cannot meet. And see, like after the convex lens, what the picture is forming. Like picture will be formed here somewhere from the principal axis to this. This would become A dash. This would become B dash, right? So picture would be here somewhere, right? So the image which will be formed here will always be behind the mirror, right? Let me write here. First point is what? The image will always be formed behind the mirror, right? Second point is what? It will always be virtual. Thirdly, it will be upright. Right. So these will be the three properties of this picture. Wait, let me use the highlighter. Okay. So the image will always be formed behind the mirror. The picture which will be formed here will always be behind the mirror. Secondly, this picture will be virtual because we are forming the picture with the help of mirror, right? So the pictures which are made with the help of mirrors are always virtual, right? Thirdly, it would be upright. So let me tell you the same thing with the help of that diagram. As you can see here, let me use that. Okay, as you can see, the line which is going parallel to the principal of axis will always go through this focal point, right? When this point will go towards the center of curvature, will always come with that point with the center of curvature path after reflection. So here the picture would be found of this image, right? So this was all about the image formation by convex mirror.